How's it going, everybody? It's Frisby Moonsong here. Yow! And as you can see, we have Altergeist, which we have not played in a while, and it's been a long time since you've seen this deck list on my channel, but it is back and we have been doing some amazing things with it. We played in a box tournament, which we came second in. We played in a nice big mat tournament, which we came second in, and we've even won a couple of locals with it. So it's actually been doing really well, and I'm quite proud of what this deck can do, and I think it's something that you can consider playing at your locals. There's a couple of changes that I made through the weekend, but I think this is eventually what I settled on. There are a couple of cards I would mention after this video to consider more and maybe to look into playing, but this is the list I've come up with, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. So let's get straight to the main deck first, because that's what we always start with. Going for the Altergeist engine, we have 3 multi-faker at the beginning, obviously one of the best cards in the deck. Then we are going to be playing 3 Puquery. I know Puquery is like one of the cards that is very debatable on how many ratios we play, but we are playing 3. I think even though it is an extender, it's really good to see with any of your Altergeist monsters, and you want to, if you go first, you want to see at least an Altergeist monster plus like at least 2 Altergeist monsters, and this is one of them that makes it really good. As much as it's an extender, it makes top decking a lot better even if you open it. Then we also have 3 Meluseek, obviously the best main searcher of the deck, and also spot removal, so it's really good. And then we have 3 Marionetta. This card is super amazing, setting a trap from deck. I really need to get new sleeves. Setting a trap from deck, and it does really well just in general. It helps with a lot of full combos, which we will show you a little bit of what cards are actually full combo. Then for these ratios, this is the ratio that has been debated. I'm playing 1 Sorkitas and 1 Melwisp. I know a lot of people are opting to play 2 Melwisp at the moment, but for me, it is really important to have a very strong going first hand, because that's what you want to see the most. And eventually, Altergeist does not have a problem with the grind game. In the grind game, you are usually already winning, so you only need 1 of these to actually get your combo going. After that, you should be okay in grinding the game. So you want to avoid drawing these 2 cards because they help you in the game, and they're really important to create your combos, but you don't ever want to see them in your opening hand. So I wanted to have that risk factor less, and I wanted to have a more consistent build, which is why I put them at 1, which I feel like works. Speaking of consistency, we are playing 3 spoofing, which is just generally amazing. 4 going second, you can side out 1, which is really nice. It is a good side out, so you can consider that. 2 protocol, because protocol is probably the most broken card of this deck, protecting everything on the field. And then we're going to be playing a 1 manifestation, because the revive is insane. And then we are going to be playing 1 haunted rock. Now I know there's the debate on whether we should play haunted rock or not, but I do believe that even though it is a brick in the deck, I still feel like it helps you more than it hinders you with the odds of opening it, because it allows Marionetta plus an Altergeist card to become an Altergeist monster to become full combo just because this card is there, and the amount of times you are able to get that is worth more than the amount of times you are able to brick on this. So I do feel this is very important to have in the deck, and I feel like it is a must play right now. Then looking at everything else, we are playing 2 Prosperity, mostly because we don't have the 3rd, but we will get that soon. I'm hoping to push this up to 3, but even so, I was very happy with this card every single time I saw it. It's really good. And then we play the 1 Called By, because hand traps are still a thing, and I still feel like it's really good into like certain cards that do activate from the graveyard. It does get removal for certain cards. I think this is a really good card just to play in general. Then for our hand traps, we are playing 3 Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is just really insane. I did side this out going against like Manadium and stuff because it wasn't as impactful, and I sided in more impactful cards for those kind of matchups. But against matchups like something like Labyrinth or something like Branded, where the Ash really goes in if you hit it right, it's really good just in general. And sometimes just a really well-placed Ash can get you ahead of the game. Then we have 3 Drawn Lockbird. I know I'm playing the 1 alternate art, but for some reason this one likes my hand, so I keep playing it. But this is just really good. Obviously, in this format, it's amazingly good against the meta, and it just has a really, really good matchup. So I think this is something to consider playing. You just have to be really careful with it because your Altergeist do search in your opponent's turn when they leave the field. So do be careful of when you use this. And then, obviously, the best going second card in this deck, even going first, it's still pretty decent, is 3 Infinite Impermanence. I was finally able to get my third ulti, so I feel pretty good about that. So now we can Imperm Faker in style, because Imperm Faker is actually still really, really powerful in this game. So don't underestimate this card. It's really, really good in this deck. And I feel like Imperm is still like one of the best hand traps ever. If you can play it, you will. Then in the main deck, also for going second, we are playing 3 evenly matched. It's just so amazing for going second. Even going first, so it's kind of bad going first, but like with how consistent this deck is right now, at least from my board, I've felt the evenly matched is not so much of a problem, but it's just generally really good for going second if you lose the die roll, and it's just good to have in the main deck either way, because sometimes they can't play through all your interruptions, and then you can kill them on the crackback with the evenly plus a fake or something like that. So it's really, really good as well to have. Then for the last few cards, we are playing 3 Strike, because Strike is obviously an amazing, amazing counter trap. Really, really strong. Not being able to respond to it makes it incredibly powerful. And then this is the last card of the deck. Like, obviously, this is supposed to be the third Prosperity, but I'm actually considering trying to find space in the main deck for this, because this card is insane. Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon. I think this thing is amazing. It's so strong. Like, I tested it for the first time this weekend. Over the 3 weeks I played it, and it actually was cracked. Like, every time I saw it, I liked it. It's really, really good. But it's really good. Like, Altergeist is the way the deck plays now. It's either you have full combo, right? Or you just you playing the control variant, where obviously you don't open full combo, but you open a whole bunch of traps. And in the time that you do open just traps, this is really, really strong. It just turns off a whole lot of decks. It keeps you alive, stops you from being killed. I think this is something to consider playing more of, which I might see if I will add more to a list in the future. But for now, it was really, really good. And obviously, it replaces the Prosperity currently. Then, going into, let's look at the extra deck. Going into the extra deck, we have the Altergeist stuff. 3 Altergeist Hextia, of course, because this is probably the best card in the deck. If you want, after this video, you may post in the comments if you guys are wanting combo tutorial videos. I will share that as well with you guys in the future. But we have 3 Hextia. The 1 Prime Banshee, you can up this to 2 if you're scared of it getting hit or banished by Kashtira things, but you only really need 1. Once you've gone into the 1, you're most likely winning. Then you have the 1 Memory Gant. This is basically for OTKs. And then you have the 1 Adminia. This is to end your combo with. And it's also really good. Stealing a monster is really strong, and the fact that it becomes an Altergeist monster, this card is actually super insane, and that's really, really helped the deck a lot. Helps you to get your second trap as well. Then for the last Altergeist card, we have Altergeist Dragvarion. We're playing this mostly, like, it does come up once in a while. It doesn't come up as often, but the most stuff you need is just really this stuff, and then the Link Karibo, which you'll see now. But this is an option to go into, which is really, really nice. If you tribute it off Prime Banshee, it can summon itself back. If you tribute it off Hextia, it can summon itself back and get you another spell and trap negate. And also, Mawisp is a tuner, so it allows you to get into that a lot more easily. So that is an option now that we can play, and it's really, really cool. Then we have, for the Link ones, we have Link Karibo, because this is a really strong Link 1, of course. Melusik going into Link Karibo has always been the play. And then we have Relinquished Anima, for going second when you make the Melusik play, of course, and this allows you to just get removal on the board. So this is really, really good just in any Link 1 deck. You see it being played in Purely and a lot of things like that, so it's really, really strong. Then moving on to the Link 2, we have the Dark Charm and Gloomy. This is really, really good in general. You have a lot of Darks, especially your Link 1s, really, really strong. So this is something you can look into playing. And there's a lot of strong Dark monsters you can revive. And then leading on to that, we have the Zephyr Metaltron. This is really good. So the combo with this is you want to get a search off the Hextia. So if you actually use the Melusik linking into the Link Karibo, you can search the Mawisp and summon to revive the Melusik. And then you make your Hextia, and then your Hextia and your Link Karibo will allow you to go into this If you have a better Link 3 that you can make, I don't know, you can make Decode Talker for RK, but it's just a way to get a search off the hex tier in turn 0 if you only open Malusik. Then we obviously have the Celine plus Access Code Talker combo. This is really, really good. Still really good in the deck. And that can be paired with the Dark Trauma Gloomy as well. So this is something you can play. And it revives spellcasters. So all your Altergeist monsters are spellcasters. And this can allow you to revive a Mulwisp, which then can also lead you into playing Arknight Magician. So this allows you to gain 2 counters on it, and then it can pop a card by removing spell counters on the field, which Arknight Magician will have, and Celine can possibly have. So if you're able to revive a Mulwisp, you can revive the Marionetta with the Mulwisp, and then synchro into this, and then it allows you to get 2 pops off of this, and anything is left on here gets an extra pop, and then you can link off into the Access Code Talker, which is further pops to the field. It doesn't come up as often, but in the 3 weeks that I played it, it did come up once, and it was really, really helpful. And it's really cool, and you've got the extra deck space anyway, so might as well play it. It's a nice option to go into. And then the last card being the Herald of the Arclight, because Mulwisp plus Malusik is able to make this literally, if you open the Malusik, you can make Linkariba plus this, which is really, really strong. And yeah, that's a really good option to go into. Now, going into the side deck, we have 2 Secret Village and a Metaverse. This is obviously going first for the spell matchup. Then we have 3 Dark Ruler No More going second for your big combo heavy decks, because going Dark Ruler No More and Evenly is really good. Even if they have a lot of negates, I know even if they have the counter trap, it's still like a bait for the counter trap, but you can still kind of play through it, and it's still a really good card currently. Then we have 2 Cosmic Cyclone and 1 Harpies for obviously the back row matchup. And then we have 3 Solemn Judgment for a trap matchup. Now, we usually can play this going first as well, but a lot of the time we set up spell and trap negates anyway for our full combo, but it is an option to go into. It's really good against Kashtira and good against like a lot of other, I think, control decks, which is really, really nice. So it's something you can consider. And then the last 3, we have 2 D-Barrier. We can push this up to 3. I just think D-Barrier is amazing going first and going second, especially against decks that play Synchro Infusions a lot, or even XZs, because you can still set it going second, and then in third turn, if you activate something like spoofing and they try to negate with a Baron or something, this allows you to actually negate the whole field and stop them from comboing off. It's really, really strong. And then the last card, it could be a 3rd dimensional barrier if you want to, but we are memeing, so we are playing the 1 Witch's Strike. This is so funny going second against like 4 negate boards, because you're able to bait out a negate, and then you Witch's Strike, and then you strike them, and they lose everything. It's so funny, and it's an option. It's also good for the control matchup, considering people might also be playing strikes and judgments. So it's really, really funny to catch people off guard with this, and we're just doing this for the memes for now. But that is the deck list. I hope you guys really enjoy. Other cards we are considering, obviously, was the Daruma Cannon. That's the one that you guys can consider playing more of. There's also Grave of the Ancient Organism. This deck plays around that because it's just links and everything else is lower than a level 4. So it's really, really good as well. These are really nice options that you can consider for this deck. And I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions, and we will go from there. But from me, Frisby Moonsong, this has been me playing Altergeist, once again going back to the roots. Kind of where it all started, but not exactly where it started. But this is kind of like where my competitive journey started. So it's really nice to come full circle. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers, guys. Yeah!